If you're a die-hard Raiders fan and you're looking for more videos around the 2023 NFL Draft, look no further. The Raiders Report is here. Hit that subscribe button. I promise we're going to be doing a lot of videos around the Raiders, draft targets, rumors, and a whole bunch of analysis. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and today's show is presented by Panda Sups. Save 25% off when you use promo code Raiders. Hopefully you can remember that. At pandasups.com, I have that for you down in the comments and in the description of today's video. So what are we going to be talking about today? Todd Mcshay's latest mock draft was released. I'm going to be breaking it down from the Raiders standpoint with the number 7 overall pick because, well, they took a quarterback. Now, before I get to who the QB was, let's first look at the very first pick because there was a trade that went down in the Mcshay mock. The Chicago Bears, they traded the number 1 overall pick to the Indianapolis Colts. Indy jumps over to the Houston Texans, their division rival. And I hate when people do this type of shit because to me, as a content creator, if you're going to put a mock draft out, which by the way is already, a lot of guessing, let's be real, you're going to put a trade together and for a 4th, all right, 2nd, 5th, and then in the exact quote is maybe a 2024 first round pick. I'd have more respect for you if you just said 2024 first round pick or a 2024 second round pick. You throw in maybe in there, and I'm like, let's just crumble this whole thing up, throw it out the window. So the first 6 picks in the mock were number 1 off the board, quarterback Bryce Young. I do believe personally if you're going to make a jump and you're going to trade up, usually it's for a quarterback. CJ Stroud, he goes number 2 overall to the Houston Texans. So I know a lot of people are going to be tuning this right now are like, wait a minute. So you're telling me the Raiders took a quarterback and both of the top 2 guys are off the board? The answer to that question is yes. So let's just say you're sitting in the war room right now with Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler. Who should the Raiders draft? I want to know down in the comments section. And before, because maybe some of y'all don't know some of the top prospects out there. I get it. I'm still early in my draft research as well. Here were the next 10 players off the board in Mcshay's mock draft. You got Joey Porter, one of the top cornerback prospects out there. Quentin Johnson, a great wide receiver. Broderick Jones, I thought that was a little bit high for him personally. 2 quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, Peter Skoronski, y'all know I like him, Bryan, Breese, Devon Witherspoon, Michael Mayer, and then Paris Johnson Jr. So while you were looking at that list, there you go, some more names. Who should the Raiders draft at number 7 overall? If you're thinking on this show like, well, they moved on from Derek Carr. There's a lot of different ways that they can go about that. So, seriously, I'm curious of what you guys have to say in terms of who should the Raiders pick. So then, Roger Goodell, he walks up to the podium and he goes with the 7th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. The Las Vegas Raiders select. I actually don't think he's going to do that, but for this sake, the Raiders select quarterback out of Kentucky, Will Levis. If you like upside, you're going to like this pick. And let's face the facts. This is just where the Raiders are at. You moved on from Derek Carr. There's a new era that needs to begin. I do think by you selecting Will Levis at number 7 overall, that does not mean that you trade for Aaron Rodgers. Sure, maybe you have a veteran in front of him, like, I don't know, a Jimmy Garoppolo if you want to have Levis learn for a year. To me, though, man, if you take him, I think you just got to put him out there and see what ends up happening. So to me, when I saw this mock go down, the first thing that I thought of was, all right, if they make this pick, Will Levis is the type of prospect that his ceiling is so freaking high. Like, there's reasons why he gets Josh Allen comps, and I got some pretty crazy stuff at the end of today's show around that. But he's such a make-or-break guy that this is going to make or break Josh McDaniels' career. To me, it's almost a you can't lose situation. Somebody who doesn't really believe in McDaniels. To me, if Will Levis works out, like, you found your quarterback for a very long time. If it doesn't work out, peace out, McDaniels. Peace out, Ziegler. And then maybe we even have a chance to draft Caleb Williams, draft somebody like Drake May next season. This is what Todd Mcshay had to say on the Raiders drafting Levis. The Derek Carr era is over, and Tom Brady is no longer an option after he retired this month. Las Vegas will explore other available veterans, but Levis would fit in nicely. He has a huge arm to drive the ball downfield to Davante Adams, and at 232 pounds, he is a strong runner on design rushes and scrambles. Levis has experience with pro-style concepts too, and his ceiling is sky high. But can Coach Josh McDaniels clean up Levis's turnovers, 23 interceptions over the past 2 years, and maximize his traits? That will be the biggest question for the team that ultimately picks Will Levis. If the Raiders can iron out those issues, they might have a long term to solve to help them compete in the AFC West with the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. I agree on a lot of these things that Mcshay brings up here, and that's what a lot of scouts say about Levis. He's got the ceiling. There's no doubt about it. But his floor is somewhere all the way down there, and I don't know if you're going to get the next Josh Allen. Believe it or not, finding the next Josh Allen, it's not that easy. But when you're going up against a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, like Justin Herbert, sometimes you got to roll the dice just a little bit. Now, today's show is presented by Panda Sups, and I have said this to people all across, like, literally, if somebody asks me about protein, the best tasting protein, look at me in the eyes right now, the best tasting protein that you will ever have is from Panda Sups. So use code Raiders, 25% off pandasups.com. They did just launch their 2 new flavors. If you like strawberry milk, you're going to love their brand new strawberry with dried frozen strawberries in it. Their cookies and cream, I think it tastes like, imagine if you were to dunk a whole bunch of cookies into milk for an hour. That's what that tastes like. I love their cocoa, their vanilla, their fruity tastes like the milk on the bottom of a Fruity Pebbles bowl of cereal. Like, I'm telling you right now, if you're looking to lose a little bit of weight, if you got a sweet tooth, give it a try. It's a great meal supplement as well. So presented by Panda Sups, pandasups.com. Link again, comments, description of today's video. Will Levis apparently puts mayonnaise in his coffee and eats bananas with the peel on. I don't know if he would like Panda Sups, but normal people, I think y'all would. Let's continue to talk about Will Levis here in terms of the scouting report. I saw this mock draft, so I had some extra time over the last, few hours to look at some extra tape on him. I think this. He's got the strongest arm in the draft, and the strongest arm doesn't always mean the best arm, but to me, he can make any throw on the field. Like, there are, right now in the NFL, I would say a handful of guys that have the arm talent that Levis has. So, to me, if you're a defensive-minded guy, good luck trying to cover him, especially if you can put it all together. He has a quick release, and usually dudes that have such a strong arm, they can't get rid of the football that quickly. He can do it. He is accurate on intermediate and long passes. The throws that you look at him, you're like, what the hell is he doing, are the short ones. He does struggle to put touch on the ball, which you absolutely need. And then his mechanics, they need a lot of work. I mean, we're just going to be real. Needs a lot of work. He struggles to recognize coverages. Sometimes when a play breaks down, he knows he's a good athlete, and he's not afraid to tuck it and run. Yeah, he's a big guy, and in college you can get away with it. But at the NFL level, I want you to be able to sit in the pocket, roll out there. First read's not there, second read's not there, third read's not there. Then you can tuck it and run. It's not, first read's not there. All right, now I'm going to run. But at 6'3", he's got all the intangibles you could possibly look at. NFL Draft Buzz on their scouting report around Will Levis said, Will Levis came from nowhere in 2020, and after a solid 2022 campaign, season has now looked as legitimate first-round talent. He has generational physical gifts, as well as good accuracy and elite arm strength, a quick release as well, a natural feel for the game. Levis also offers a major impact as a runner who reminds us of Josh Allen, who forces the defense to play even or 11-on-11 football, especially in the red zone. He, however, is still very raw and has a little nuance to his game. He has a number of flaws in his game, most of which can be explained by him playing on talent-starved Kentucky team and being forced to freelance, but not all. Levis is the biggest boom-bust quarterback in the class by far. There is a chance he could become the second coming of Josh Allen. Equally, there is also a chance he may fall to work out his technical issues and never become a decent pro starter. Expect Will Levis to be drafted in the top half of the 2023 NFL Draft. So let's just say right now, McDaniel, Ziegler, they make the call. Levis, you're going to be a member of the Silver and Black. How would you guys feel? How would you grade it? Because you know I'm going to be live, Jeremy Chugs and I. We will be live for the entire 2023 NFL Draft. All 7 rounds. It's 20 hours of just absolute shit show. It's a great time, analysis, but I always give my grades. Here's your opportunity. How would you grade it if that's where the Raiders ended up taking him? Now, in terms for me, it's a C grade because to me, you got to wait and see what type of guy you're going to get. I know that the upside is there, and I would love to see what they would be able to put around him. Like, to me, if you really go out and you upgrade the offensive line in free agency, you give him a really good running game with Josh Jacobs, and then you allow him to just sit back and, not do too much because he does need time. Like, you're not going to be able to just throw him out there and he's going to be able to do a lot. That's not the type of quarterback prospect he is. And I am worried if you throw him out there too early, well, then you're kind of going to ruin him a little bit. So I will be curious to see what they do in free agency in the draft, but I'm just going to be real with y'all, okay? I don't have the confidence in Josh McDaniels to be able to groom a quarterback. I don't. I know Derek had his flaws this year, but McDaniels also has a lot of flaws as a head coach. Do I think he's a smart offensive mind? Yes, I do. But head coaches, to me, have to be good leaders. They have to be good teachers. And from like we saw yesterday with Prez, Josh McDaniels, I don't know if he could teach. I listen to McDaniels talk. When you listen to the way that man talks, I'm sorry, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence that he's going to be a good teacher. Listen to a guy like Mike Tomlin talk. They can talk. To me, there's a difference, right? If you can illustrate your point with conversation, you're also going to be able to be a good teacher. I don't trust Josh McDaniels. But since the one comp that is continually gets thrown out, and I guarantee you this, when he shows up at the combine and he lights that place up, the comps that are going to continue to come out are, guess who? Josh Allen. And when Josh Allen was a quarterback in college out of Wyoming, he was not very good. Super raw prospect, did not have a lot going for him, if I'm being honest for you, besides the natural tools. Completion percentage, advantage, Will Levis. Passing yards, advantage Levis. He also played in some more games. Touchdown to interception ratio, well, that actually advantages Josh Allen. And then the quarterback rank. But people don't make the comparison based off of stats. They do it based on build, based on the arm talent, based on their size, based on their ability to run. Height, that one advantage Josh Allen. Weight, that one also Allen, but when you really look at both of these guys, they are built extremely similar. Wingspan, advantage Levis. Arm length, well, that one's Josh Allen. And then hand size, you know what they say about hand size. You got to be able to hold on to that football. That one is advantage Levis. I mean, there's no doubt about it. From a physical standpoint, both of these players are extremely similar. But just hoping that you're going to get the next Josh Allen, it is a little bit far-fetched because let's be real. If you told every NFL team right now that Will Levis is going to be the next Josh Allen, he's the number 1 overall pick, and it ain't even close, man. Now, remember before I said more draft videos, more draft analysis. If you like this video, well, then all I want you to do is go check out my Raiders 2023 big board. It's the top 10 players that I would want the Raiders to take at number 7. Find out if Will Levis even makes that video. So, y'all, if you want the Raiders to take a quarterback in round 1, I want you to hit the like button on today's show because I would imagine that you liked it. Yes, Will Levis is known as Josh Allen, no doubt about it. But there are a lot of other things that the Raiders need to be able to consider. And this mock draft, I do think, is a very real scenario. I'll be real. The more and more people I talk to, it sounds like Indianapolis legitimately could trade up to number 1 to take their guy. Houston then takes a quarterback at number 2. And I think if that happens, it's Bryce Young, it's C.J. Stroud. And then that puts the Raiders into a situation. Do you take Will Levis, or do you go with another quarterback who has extreme upside, Anthony Richardson, or do you just trade back and not take a quarterback at all? A lot of different questions, but I do want you all to know that we got you covered here around everything around the Raiders, especially with the draft shortly coming up.